Welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 71. I wanted to make it dance.
Yeah, it's very tempting.
Yeah.
In school, whenever we would watch a particular show, I think that doesn't give away too much. My college roommate and I, during the theme song, would go and sort of dance to it. Yeah, we went through a period with that particular show as well as several others.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles to all returning and new viewers. We have 4 new members. We are up to 121. Yay! Let's see. Who do we have? We have Katie Bell. We didn't welcome Katie Bell on the podcast yet, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Because it was 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
I don't think we did.
Well,
we did. She's being
welcomed again. Welcome to Katie Bell, who is Katie. And Red Jude, I think she watches us on YouTube, but she's now a member of the group. And I believe her name is Jude, but I'm not sure because it doesn't say. And then there's Memes for Fun.
Memes are fun.
Memes are fun, who is Cheryl. And then Butterfly Jones 07, who is Vanessa. So,
and she's also, I believe, a YouTube member.
And she's part of the group now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really happy to have you with us.
Butterfly Jones, when you think of a song, it's Dolphin Jones, Dolphin Jones.
Okay, yeah, I know.
What's that song called?
I know you're talking about, but yeah.
Oh, what is that song?
We have to sing it properly.
It's because it's Along Came Jones.
Yeah.
Along Came Jones.
I'm not sure she's gonna like that particular.
I don't remember much of the song. It's been a long time since I've heard it.
Well, considering it's a male. Anyway.
I don't remember much about it.
We welcome you all. We're glad you're with us. To spend some time with us, crocheting, knitting, hanging out, having your tea or coffee or whatever it is you want to have. And I'm having chai tea, hot chai tea.
I am having a frappuccino. Because I have not slept much in the past few days.
Yeah, she's back at work. So.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to do a shameless plug for a snack that I decided is yummy. I'm resisting the urge to continue eating these. Nella wafers dipped in peanut butter. Num num num.
Katie Bell eats peanut butter with bacon. I think that's what she said. I'm sorry, Katie Bell, if I'm misquoting you, but I could have sworn that's what I saw on your blog.
Well, bacon's good, and peanut butter is good.
When I want my peanut butter, I want peanut butter. I want my bacon, I want bacon. It made me raise an eyebrow. Okay, I'll take her word for it. It sounds interesting. But then again, my husband has ketchup on his egg. Yes. My husband has ketchup on eggs. I think that's interesting, too. So.
Although, that's fairly common.
It is. But I find it interesting. Okay, Pinktober. Want to do a quick plug again for Pinktober. It is running strong in both the Knit Nerd and the Knitting Dan podcast. Those are Denise's and Cat B913, who is Kathy.
I'm way behind on podcast.
Yeah, I am too. But we wanted to plug this. You can catch all the information you need from Kathy's website and from Denise's, I believe. Mm-hmm. There was a link that I saw on Kathy's. Apparently, there's a group of people that.
Yeah, I just saw this on the Reader's Digest.
She saw the Reader's Digest. And I saw
today,
and I saw it today as a link somebody had posted on Kathy's Pinktober thread. It's for people who want to make, I guess, for lack of a better term, prosthetics.
Yeah.
Or crocheted or knitted prosthetics for mastectomy victims or survivors, I should say, and. They have both the crochet pattern and the knitted pattern, and it's at Knitted Knockers, KNITTED KNOCKERS.info. We will link it on the thread.
Do you have it written down?
I do. It's right here. So if you would like to do something like that, if you have a distribution area near you, that might be something you might want to look into. I
think it's a really great cause.
I think it's a great idea, great cause. They give you suggest the yarn. Excuse me, I've been battling hiccups and coughs all day, so, well, that's not true, about the last hour.
Last hour is all day, huh?
So
is that like Davina's definition of, oh, it's been a terrible day when one thing wrong happened?
Uh-huh. Anyway, so that's something you might want to look into. It is knittedknockers.info. I don't remember if it's one word or two words. You'll have to try it out, or just look on our thread and you'll find it there. The other thing is the toy along. Our second annual toy along is going strong. We have already our first toy. It's adorable. Was it Katie May who put it in?
I can't remember who put it in now because it was the first thing I noticed when I got up.
It's adorable. I think it's a cute little. I think it's a little monster.
It's one
knitted.
of the monsters that.
Is that one of Jenna's?
No, it's a Rebecca Danger monster, I think.
Okay.
And it's in like black and neon-y yarn. It's so
cute. It's adorable.
Because I'm not usually a monster person. I just don't.
But it's Halloween, so.
But it was so cute.
It's adorable. It really is adorable. Check it out if you'd like, and please feel free to put your toys in. We're going to be running for about 2-3 months. We will have prizes to be determined.
We have one determined.
We have one already, possibly two. Really excited about that. Yeah, so we are moving along with that. Do you have hooks or whips or
whatever we're calling
them now?
Let me see.
How many do you have?
I have many more than you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I felt like I had more than I did. I guess only 4.
I have 3.
Oh, I have 5.
Okay, I have 3.
Okay. Well, the first one, I guess, is the one that's in my hands. This is the one I started most recently. Let me turn the page. This was started. This is what I wanted to start for my sister first. But I started the other ones last week instead for her because it wasn't October yet. I wanted to make sure that this made it in for Pinktober. When I first got the idea of
making... she does not know about this.
No, she does not know about this. When I first got the idea of making mitts for my sister, I wanted to make her, because she's a little pink girl. She's a little girly girl. Even though she resents the term because she hates wearing dresses and
she doesn't want to be prissy and frilly, and
which is funny because she's such a little prissy.
Yeah.
But she's not gonna know I said that, but she is.
She'd be highly offended.
Oh, she would. Offend her dignity. But she's a little girly girl. So I'm calling these Pink Lady mitts. It's Irish hiking scarf arm warmers. These are probably going to be my go-to arm warmers. I like how they feel. When they end up, where they end up is perfect for if you're knitting. It doesn't impede the yarn flow, which sounds weird, but you guys knit and crochet, you know what I mean. It's just an easy pattern. You knit it flat, you fold it over, you sew it up, leaving a hole for the thumb. And it's free. Can't argue with a free pattern.
Free is always good. My favorite.
These are the Irish hiking scarf arm warmers. That's a pattern by Delia Rao Chalakian. I'm using US 7 needles. These US 7 needles will probably always be in one of these arm warmers because this is easy church knitting. This is easy walking around knitting. I've memorized the pattern. Yes, there's cables.
It'd be good for charity too.
Yes, it would be. So it's something that I don't have to think about. That's in my purse. I've memorized this pattern back with the very first pair of mitts I made that were for legless mitts. And it's simple. I haven't done one that's completely plain yet because I kind of like the look where you do a color up to the ribbing and then change the color. I will probably make, I might make a pair that's completely plain for me. But anyway, I am doing Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And this is the hot rose colorway. I'll be doing the yellow up at the ribbing because Davina liked the color change. The color change initially was done because I thought I was going to run out of the yarn I was using when I did the first pair of mitts. So it was an accidental, not accidental because I did it on purpose, but it was a initially unplanned change to the pattern.
It was a necessity.
Yeah, it was a necessity. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm not very far along. I basically cast on and did a couple rows on Friday, and then I knit a couple rows in church. So, I do love this pattern. Yeah. Oh, and this will be for October.
Okay. Where do I start?
At the beginning. Start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Once he's finished with the intermission, I will begin.
Begin with A, B, C, C. Begin with Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi. Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Hi.
Okay, I'm going to start with my hat because that's probably what I've worked the least on. I actually worked on it today. It is living in my teapot bag.
I need someone
Over
sitting
there.
on the other side of you, like Lindsay and Catherine did to their mom when they're podcasting.
Oh, wait, Lindsay, she doesn't usually sit in the
I
middle.
guess she doesn't.
Usually it's
Usually
Catherine's
it's
in the middle. No, Lindsay's in
Lindsay's
the
in the
middle.
middle. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Lindsay's in the middle.
But still, I need someone on the other side. I need someone to help me gang up on you.
See what she's doing? She's not nice at all.
See what she's doing? Is this the person who taught me English?
This is the top of the hat, I believe.
Yeah, you got more than I realized.
I did 4 rows today. It was really hard to see in my room. It's been dark here because it's been cloudy all day and raining most of the morning.
When I got off of work, it looked like someone was power spraying the side of the hospital. That's how hard it was raining.
I mean, 1 minute it was nothing. Then it started raining. Then whoosh, the wind was blowing, and it looked like someone was just sheets, like they just dumped sheets of water. Like you see in the movies sometimes, where it's just. It looked like you.
Like I said, it looked like someone was cleaning the side of the hospital.
Yeah,
so I just stayed and got a flu shot instead.
Yeah.
I wasted time at work after I clocked out.
So that's why it's been so dark, even darker than normal in the house. But this is the crown, and I'm not sure what row I'm on.
It looks like you're wearing a yarmulke. Thank you.
Yes. So it's coming along. I did 4 rows. I think I might do one extra.
Tradition.
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 Yeah, somebody's gonna get angry because you.
I like that movie.
I love that movie. But I think I might do one extra row in this because I'm not sure if I'm on 23 or 24. And so I don't think one more row will matter. But I'm almost to the point where I have to mark off the rows so I can start with the next part, which I think is part of the brim. So
now, how much of a brim do you have to have stuff in the brim? Like
no,
okay.
no. It's at least I don't think so.
I mean, I have the Cool Whip containers.
That's the wrong.
I think I'm going to call this episode the episode where singing happens, although that's not abnormal.
Breaking into song. Random song. Yes, Dawn and...
Sing a song.
If I could remember the words.
I know, I couldn't remember the words either.
But anyway, the hat, see the brim is not...
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I know, I'm showing you not them.
But I figured they could see too. Because otherwise it's kind of rude. It's like...
But what for?
It is getting darker out there. I think it's going to start raining again.
Yeah, I'm hoping not because I want to go for a walk.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got a kind of downpour if we went for a walk.
I want to go for a walk. But anyway, I'm doing this project.
I've got Fiddler on my mind. Now I'm hearing, I want to see Multle's new sewing machine.
Do you see what I have to put up with? Honestly.
I didn't sleep very long.
Okay. So I'm using a G-hook for this, and it's Knit Picks it's Knit Picks Bravo Worsted, which I did get gauge on. I was really excited about. So that's where I'm at. I'm hoping.
That is exciting because it's hard to get crochet gauge.
Yes, it is. It was a little tiny bit off, not even a quarter of an inch. So
you have big hair.
I do not, in fact. Anyway, I'm hoping to finish this in the near future, but we'll see because I have to have the right light for this because it's such a dark yarn. But otherwise, it's not a hard pattern so far, and I'm enjoying it a lot, and I can't wait to finish it. So I have it to go with my sweater.
I guess it'd be my turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which one do I wish to speak of next?
Wish to speak that, or which you wish to speak.
Yes,
That
exactly.
which you would wish to speak.
In the bag, the Batman. By Pullover Bird, and I have hair in the bag, the Batman. Probably from the many times I've used it as a purse in the past couple weeks. Now I have a Turtles bag I'm using as a purse. So a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtle Power. Let me move my little Batman Notions bag out of my Batman project bag. And of course I had to, because I'm alternating skeins, I have 2 smaller bags in here. One of which is a Batgirl. One, because that's just appropriate. If I had a small Nightwing, Nightwing would be the other one. But I don't have a small Nightwing. So it's Lorax. I'm sorry. Here we go. So I got all excited because I thought I had finished the lace section of the lunch.
Never finishes.
And then I looked at the directions, and it's like, okay, now take out the provisional cast on and do the exact same thing in the other direction. So I'm only halfway done. I'm not a lacy girl. I can do lace, and I don't mind it, but I don't enjoy it nearly as much as I do cables.
Cables are fun.
Hold on. I think partially because I think with cables, it's a little easier for me to memorize the pattern. I can see I can read the knitting to say what I'm going to do next. Whereas for lace, a lot of times I find I have to look at the chart more.
I think it depends on how complex the lace is, because I don't know about knitting because I haven't done as much with knitting, but crocheting, once you, depending on how complicated it is, you can see where things are starting to, you know.
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's the lace work I've done. It's just, it requires me, it's not like where you just have one set area of lace. It's
right.
You have like a set of like 13 rows or however many rows. So I find I have to look at the chart. Even if it's an easy pattern, it's just, I love with cables, I can pretty much go, oh, okay, I can read the knitting from this point onward, and then I don't look at the pattern hardly at all. And I love that. But provisional cast on is out. I think I did it right. It's, I don't know, those of you who've done the Lush before, did you have a weird area when it feels like my leaf is not joining my second leaf like I'd like it to? It feels like there's a bunch of holes there, and I'm sure it'll look fine. It's just,
I think the most recent person to do it in our group was Nicole.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking at Nicole.
Are you listening, Nicole?
Because you see where this, you remember, Nicole, when you did the provisional cast on, it would have been here, and then you pick up those stitches and it tells you to go right into the chart. And it just, it feels like it's joining weird. I mean, I've done it a couple different times, and I'm just like, okay, that's just the way it's going to look, because I guess it's the way it's supposed to look, and I'm trying to trust the pattern. It just looks weird to me. So, yep. I think that once I get done with this section and start the actual body of the sweater, this will fly by. It's just, and this is not a hard lace. I do enjoy the lace work of this when I'm working on it. It's, the chart's easy to follow, it's easy to read. It's just, I don't enjoy looking at charts more than I absolutely have to.
I don't like charts.
Oh, I don't mind charts. I mean, the Vivian has 20 million charts out the wazoo.
I like exploded directions. Exploded.
But, yeah, I think I've been spoiled with cables lately. Like, that's my newest knitting obsession. Oh, I guess I didn't really give any other details about Inkheart, did I? That's the Lush pattern by Tin Can Knits. Using US 3 and US 6 needles. I'm not sure which size I'm using right now. I think these are the 6s. And I'm using Miss Babs' Yowza What a Skein in the Fountain Pen colorway. This pattern was gifted to me by Nurse Kim Knits. I think this is going to be absolutely beautiful sweater when it's done. Just for the color, and it goes very well with the pattern. Size 33, so I might have to make a larger button band. But yeah, I am enjoying working this. I'm trying to trust the pattern for, you know, the point after the provisional cast on. I keep wanting to go back, and I think I went back like 5, 6, 7 times. Going, that doesn't look right. Tear, tear, tear. Let's try that again. Tear, tear, tear. But I am attempting to trust the pattern.
Attempting? Are you succeeding?
That's up to her debate. And I know that she writes a good pattern. It's just, I don't know if, I can't remember. she told me to do a pearl row before I went into the charting. When I did it the first time, and I don't know if I did that. So I'm not sure if that's affecting what the look is. So I don't know. Just gonna have to deal with it. I gotta assume that I did what I'm supposed to do. But there we go.
Okay. My next project is Starburst the Gumball Dragon, which is from the Stomp the Gumball Dragon pattern by T Boutique Critters. And I'm crocheting this for our toy along and for Pinktober and probably for Knit Girls. They have a Halloween craft along going on, so I might put it in there too if they allow me to triple dip. And I've made quite a bit of progress on this little guy. I should read the pattern all the way through because I was supposed to change hooks to do the eyes, and I didn't, but that's okay. He's just going to have bigger eyes than normal. The eyes and the pants, I think. The pants, which are actually a mouth, now that I've piqued your interest.
This seems so weird looking.
This is where I'm at. I'm going to have to stuff him a little bit on the bottom because I made the pants a little too big. But this is his one ear here. Okay, this is a gumball dragon. That's why he's round. He's a gumball dragon.
You know what makes me think of is a Pokemon right now.
A little bit.
You know, with the big ears
Yeah.
and it being round.
I think.
Not that I know much about Pokemon.
No, I don't either. My nephews are really into that. But anyway, or were. There's one ear.
You know they're completely off screen, right, Mom?
Yeah, there's one ear. And this one
will be the second one.
I can't really turn my hand that way, but
look, I'll hold. There we go.
Okay.
I'm creepy and freaky.
He's not. So it'd be kind of like that. Plus it has a tail and feet and teeth and a tongue. So I think he's going to be cute.
I'm sure he'll be cute when he's done. It's just really weird looking right now.
Well, you were weird looking when you were first born, too. You had puppy-eyed eyes.
I was adorable.
Yeah, that's why they called you Don Knotts. Little boy in the pew behind us, I almost decked him. Mommy, that baby looks like Don Knotts. I probably would have given him a dirty look, except I was really surprised that a kid that age knew who Don Knotts was. So,
well, I was really dark as a kid. I looked like I was a Hispanic baby.
Yes, you did. But you are Hispanic, sort of.
But not, like, really Hispanic.
No. But, anyway, I'm using a G hook for this pattern. Well, I'm using a G and an E hook, I believe. And it's moving along fairly quickly. I'm having fun with it. The eyes are...
You drop it.
Oh. The eyes are, I didn't know what I was going to do with them. Thinking from when we first started doing toys, I thought, oh, these will be fun. I don't know if you can tell.
Those are very perfect for the...
They're kind of multicolored,
They
rainbow
can tell
eyes.
with
Yeah.
This
That one, yeah. But whenever I tried to put it on most of my crochet patterns or any toy patterns I was making, it didn't quite go. It's perfect for this.
I think you got it for the big dog for Stacy Trott.
I think I did. I think I got it for the mystery cow that I was doing with Stacy Trott when we did the Archer pattern.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go.
Can you imagine if you put it on there?
Oh, gee.
Dad calls it the ugly dog.
Because the colored mom show. Yeah, yours is worse. I
call mine the ugly dog, too.
Yes, you do. But Gumball only uses her hypnotic eyes when she doesn't get Starburst that she wants. So she hypnotizes you out of them when she goes trick-or-treating. So that's her story, and she's sticking to it. Your turn.
Okay, Tay, let's see. I actually got some work. This was my I need to relax and just think of nothing knitting.
Oops.
Because I had a kind of rough day at work, my first day back.
Yeah.
So I worked on Davina's Tortellino pattern by Valentina Coschiani. I'm calling it Disco Nights. I think this was a free pattern. I'm using US 2 needles, and I'm using Wild Hair Fiber Studios Pinnacle Fingering in the Neon Lights colorway. And I thought it was awesome that I think that someone was working.
There's a whole bunch of people working. I think Katie Bell, I think she actually mentioned, or maybe it was somebody else. I think
no, it was the girl across from us, Max Nix. She actually had something.
Well, yeah, she had it too, but somebody had mentioned doing a knit along with the neon.
I think it was Katie.
I think that was Katie, yeah.
I'm remembering conversation based on where people were. I'm like, Max Nix had hers with her, and then someone on this end. Okay, Katie Bell was next to me on this.
Yeah,
that's how I remember the conversation.
Yeah, and then we had Emily over here.
Mm-hmm.
Although Max Nix was standing up over there as well, she popped up and down. So.
Yeah. Although I can't remember if it was her friend or her who was working. I think she was working on it because
I don't remember.
I think it was her. Anyway, this is fun, and I know Davina. Davina, for a while there was really I kept asking about where her poncho was, but once I gave her her yellow pair of mitts, she's a
happy camper.
Yeah, she's pacified. That's the word I'm looking for.
Not placated.
That could work too. Placated and pacified.
Mm-hmm. Big pacifier.
Yes.
Of the yellow mitt variety.
Indeed. She's not put them in her mouth.
Why were they felt?
No. So the cable on the side kind of hides. This probably wasn't the best yarn for this pattern. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have enough. I was trying to think if any of the yarn I picked up at the Fiber Festival would work for this pattern because it is free. And after it gets to a certain point, you just repeat a few certain rows.
But I have some. I have lots of single skeins that I don't.
But you have to have a certain amount of yardage. Like I have to use 2 skeins for this.
How much yardage?
I can't remember. I haven't looked at the pattern.
Because I have some that are in 2 skeins.
Yeah. And there'll be a slight change between skeins because I got them at 2 different times. Davina's not going to care. But it's fun. I think I'm at 11 inches. It has to be 20 and a half inches at least. So I have a while on this. I mean, it's starting to
widen out a little.
You can't really tell where it's at because I think if I widen it out, it wouldn't seem nearly as long too.
Where's the top? There.
Mm-hmm. And it's like that. So it'll be fun. She will love this.
She will squeal.
She's very happy when she sees me working on it, and I worked on it before.
You notice she hasn't asked me about the setting lately.
Good.
I think she's just waiting for the super bright stuff. Although she likes the Sedna too.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is neon, so.
Yes, neon trumps everything else.
Yes, it does.
Even yellows and oranges if it's neon.
So, there we goes.
Okay, I have one more project. I am calling it the Rip It Good Afghan because you have seen this Afghan in multiple incarnations, the same yarn. I ripped it back again because
you did?
It was wonky. The pattern was really pretty, but it was bowing out on the sides, bowing out on the sides.
Yeah, I did notice that.
And I just didn't like it. So what I've got going on now is
did you drop down and pull up?
It's a elongated double crochet.
I've never done one, but I can tell what you're doing.
Yeah, I've never done it before. I'm not sure I'm doing it the right way, but oh well. What I've done is I've got double crochet on the bottom. I've got several rows of double crochet. I've got some single crochet.
Do you have it facing them properly?
It shows on both sides. I'll turn it around though. Here. I might show that on the side. I don't know if you can see the elongated stitches. There's one. And I'm going to do another row where I connect it, so there'll be another one. And then
there's an elongated stitch. There's an elongated stitch.
So it's basically, I think it'll be okay. It's a little bit curved there, but that's okay. As long as it doesn't make it bow out. This is because I needed something that I didn't have to think about.
This yarn is really nice to work with, though.
It is very nice to work with. The problem with this yarn is it's so busy that if you have a pattern, I like the pattern for my other one, but I should have had someone or I didn't want to take the time to figure out, sit down and do the math. I just don't have the time right now. So this is just, I like the yarn so much I didn't want to not have something work. I can't talk. I almost made another knitted shawl like the one I made out of this. But
it works up so nicely in crochet.
It looks very pretty in the crochet, and I think a simple pattern will look pretty in it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'll keep it. I don't know if it'll be a gift. I don't know if it'll go to
And
charity.
this is Yarn Bee Danielle.
Yes, in the
Dawn
colorway.
colorway.
I should have called this my podcaster blanket. Is what I should have called it. But
well, if you were to do that, you need to see if another podcaster designed a blanket pattern that wasn't too busy.
What?
You need to see if another podcaster designed a blanket pattern that wasn't too busy.
Why?
Because then it would be complete podcaster.
Oh, yeah, but then I have to take it out again. I want to take it out again. But anyway, I'm using an eye hook.
20th time's the charm.
It's been more than that. I'm using an eye hook with this, and Ty already gave you the colorways, and I'm really enjoying it now. Whether or not I continue with the elongated stitch will remain to be seen. It may just end up being like a design element. I don't know. But it's just meant to kind of be a fun project, and hopefully I'll have enough yarn to make at least a lap gown with it.
Okie dokie then. I thought I only had one project left, but I had two. I didn't count one when I told you my count. The next one I want to talk about is autumnal, which is in my llama's bag.
Creepy llama bag. Creepy, creepy.
Cutie llama.
Creepy.
Look at the cute little llama.
Creepy.
Llama, llama, llama.
Creepy, creepy, creepy.
And I think it was llamas that, it was alpacas or llamas that were at the...
I think they were both there.
Yeah. The ones that Nicole's daughter kept calling. First called giraffe, and then it declared as a horse instead.
With all the certitude of a 2-year-old.
Don't question a 2-year-old. They know everything.
They know everything that's worth knowing.
Yes. With certainty. The pattern is Jenny's Cardigan by Mary Chiba. And you use the US 4 for the ribbing, and then you change the US 6 for the actual pattern. Using Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the Bittersweet colorway. I'm knitting the size 36 1/4. I cast it on initially using the wrong needle size. Got about an inch and a half long before I realized that. Had to rip it out. But that's old news. Anyway, I now have everything in the proper needle sizes, and I checked like 20 different times. I am out of the ribbing!
Yay!
Yay! And the pattern has begun.
Well, that's pretty.
Oh, it doesn't show up very... Hang on.
Hold on.
No, I need to unbutton, because it's not showing up very well against the red.
Right.
There we go.
There you go. Wait. There you can see it. Put it up closer. There. Oops. Okay.
That's on this side.
There, you can see it now.
Okay.
Can they see it?
I think so.
Yeah, they can see it. I can see it.
So it's not very far along for you to see it. I think I have a few more rows before the first part of the chart's done. Before the chart's done, then I have to start it again. So it's plain stockinette. Along the edges, it's only this back panel that has the owl ribbing. So it's nice. It's enjoyable. I just had to make sure that I pay attention to the lace because it's not intuitive. And I love my stitch markers by, I think it's Jane Knits something. It's spelled like Jane from Firefly. I love her stitch markers. I'm just assuming it's a him, maybe it's a him. Anyway, I love the stitch markers put out by this person because they're just awesome. Anyway, yep, I got quite a bit of progress done this week. Not necessarily the best TV knitting. If I'm watching something I don't necessarily enjoy, like, I don't know, Ben 10, this is perfect.
Ben Tennyson.
But
Brooke is cool, though.
If I'm watching a Western, even if I'm watching Big Valley, I need to switch over to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Big Valley's not my favorite Western we watch, but...
The Batman.
Oh, the Batman.
Beyond the Batman?
Beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman, yeah.
I have to switch to something completely mindless. Beware the Batman.
Yeah, you have to watch it. Storyline's fantastic on that.
Artwork's not so much, but there we go.
Mm.
Do you have anything else for yours?
I don't have any more whips.
Okay, I have one more whip. And it's a big whip. This was this is for the toy along and for Pinktober. Well, it might hopefully be enough pink for Pinktober.
I know what it is now.
This is the crochet snake pattern by Spotlight. I was gonna do a knitted one, but then we found this ginormous crochet one.
It's gorgeous. It's so cute.
And it was free.
And it's cute.
And it's cute. I'm using a G hook, and I'm calling it Sherbert the Lady Snake. The yarn is Yarn Bee Danielle, not Daniela. Yarn Bee Danielle in the colorway Vibes. And I'm also using Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, neons.
Hobby Lobby.
Purple neon, blue neon, fuchsia neon, pink neon, green neon.
Oh, by the way, all my colorways are neon except for the on my gumball, except for the ears, which is red heart,
But
which is just super solid.
here is the beginning of the snake. It will be ginormous. Hi. But look, doesn't look like a fish anymore.
Yes, it does. Looks like an eel. Looks like an eel. It's cute.
I'll have to crochet a tongue. And, I mean, she's not very far along. I used to be really into snakes when I was a kid. I used to read pet books on snakes, how to take care of them, used to read about different kinds of snakes. I really liked snakes as a kid. One of my happiest days was when the library on base had this huge, I think it was a python.
I know, I think it was a boa. They don't usually bring pythons.
A boa is a kind of. If I remember my snakes, a boa is a kind of
But
python.
I think it was a generic.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what kind, but a boa is a kind of python.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a big snake.
It was
a
a
big
big-
constrictor.
It was a big constrictor, and they let it slither across our legs. It was so cool. I loved it. But this harkens back to that old fondness for snakes. Did I mention on the pod the other right before retreat?
This is the girl who cannot get near a stink bug that's this big.
No. I'm not sure how I'd react if I found a snake out and about, like where it wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
Because I'm not as up to date on snakes anymore, so I wouldn't necessarily know them well enough to know if they're poisonous or not. So that because I used to be able to know the rhyme for
Right. The king snake. And
king
the,
snake versus the coral snake. Let's see, yellow on black.
Poison black.
No.
Yeah, yellow
On black.
Poison black. Black on yellow. Kill a fellow or something like that. I don't know, something like that. I don't remember.
I thought it was yellow. Hold on. I can't remember now. Oh man, I used to know it. Cause that's the one fellow I thought was like you're a lucky fellow. I used to know snake stuff a lot better than I do now. Anyway,
It's been a while.
yeah, it's been over 20. It's been about 20 years since I've really not quite that long. More like 15 years since I've really been into snakes. I used to have snake toys. Anyway, I actually went and looked up online for eye placement to make sure that the eyes weren't too high up because I wanted the eyes to be proper for my snake. So this will just sit on my bed because no one else is going to want a ginormous snake, and no one else can have my ginormous snake. This part right here, up until this neon pink, is the pretty Danielle, and you can see how nice that is. And of course, she had to have these luminescent greeny yellowy eyes. She's cute. Her tongue's gonna go right here where this yarn is, right? Because that's just perfect location. Anyway, she's cute. Yes, that's been my boring crocheting. All the knitted ones had me knit it flat and then sew it. And I'm like,
Sewing.
It was a lot. I love this pattern. If someone else decides they like it at some point, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it for a kid at some point if they really like snakes. It takes a while though. It's a ginormous toy.
Yeah, it is.
Not sure if I would be thanked by any parent for handing their child a large snake toy. Anyway, that's all mine.
I don't have anything either.
Okay, so that leads us into
FO's on the bookshelf.
yes.
Then I had a bookshelf.
Yes, and I guess I will. Sorry, hang on. Let me knit these last 3 stitches. Mark off this row. So yeah, that whole not knitting during the podcast thing, very short-lived. She started crocheting. There we go. Did you know it was cute? First of all, these are her happening mitts. I finished them. And these are my second time around for doing the Irish hiking scarf arm warmers. I need to find the Irish hiking scarf itself. But I gave these to her when I finished them very late on Thursday. Finished them either Thursday or Friday.
Just before you went back to work.
Yeah. I can't remember which day I finished it. But I gave them to her, and she has not been wearing them because she's afraid to get them dirty before the podcast. So she can't wait till I finish the podcast and she can wear her mitts. But here they are.
They look very pretty.
Very much her colors. She doesn't know about the pink ones yet, which were the ones I wanted to originally make. Basically, the colors would just be flipped. Let's see. And I told her that it's probably going to be bigger on her because she's got a little bitty hand. But this thing goes down the center with the cables on either side and then a cable right here. Free pattern, very easy to memorize. I love the fit. I'll be making a lot more of these. So, yep, after the podcast, I will give them to their happy owner, and then I will probably, she'll probably go through a period where she wants to wear them with everything.
Oh yeah, she can be very knittable. It depends, knitworthy. It depends on whether she wants it. She's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if she likes it, she's very appreciative. If not,
you'll never see light of day.
Yeah, not so much. It might end up balled up in a corner somewhere. So.
But this was something that when I was working on my pair, she picked up my pair, my first glove that I finished, and was trying it on, and you know.
And they're dull colored for her. She's boring colors.
She just absolutely loved them, and then I was just like, oh, okay. And I did like subtle little. So, do you think it'd be better? Do you like it better in one color? Do you like the two colors? You know. Oh no, I think the two colors are good. You know. So, she claims that she didn't have any idea though that I was going to make these for her. So, I don't know. I guess she's not really good about pretending that she doesn't know. Usually she'll say like, well, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess she really wasn't hinting when she tried on the other ones. Which is rare, because she usually doesn't.
She usually will hint. Like, you know, just ask.
But no, she really liked the one pair, and this is hers, and she'll be getting another pair. She doesn't know about that one.
Yeah. Okay, my finished object. I do have a finished object, which you had not seen or really heard about, except as a prompt. I was going to do the plumeria.
Did you not? Oh, I guess you never showed up on
the plumeria frill, which Michelle gave me. Michelle, who is Knit a Little from the Three Stitches podcast, gave me this pattern at the beginning of next year, I think.
Next year, huh?
Yes, Michelle, you have given me in the future. You just don't know it yet. I've already got this one, Michelle. Okay. Michelle gave this to me at the beginning of this current year, in something like January, February, something like that, whenever she gave it to me. And I already made one with my Majesty, which was purple. And then I made this one, and this is my Wine and Roses, my Days of Wine and Roses. I may have showed you.
I feel like you said that once or twice.
I know I've said it before. I've made it once before. This one's in the Wine Tasters colorway from Knit Picks. It's a tonal. Plumeria frill. I finished it in about a week, a little over a week. I really like it. This one had some creative.
I thought you started before retreat.
I did, but then I put it aside.
Okay.
There are some creative modifications on this because I didn't pay attention on it as well.
You can't really tell.
You can't really tell. I dropped down a couple stitches and pulled things up and things like that. But other than that, I mean, nobody can really see it. I made this for Talia because she had a bad day, and because she wanted a red one, and I had it. So I was planning on making that in that color anyway, and she.
Yes, I am very grateful. And Mom wears it around like this, and this thing is
It's very versatile.
Yeah, they mentioned when they on the pattern it's very versatile. I only know the 2 ways to wear it.
Well, you can wear it with one side down. You can wear it, kind of loose. I like it because of that.
The way I tend to wear it,
it's like a scarf.
Is like a scarf, really like a frill.
Yeah. Well, it's like they used to wear in the 70s.
And this is the way I like to wear it. It's a little fashionable little thing. And it also it takes care of that one area that always gets cold on me, right along here in the neck. So.
And this is a really quick knit. I love
quick crochet.
Quick crochet.
I've been looking for knitted patterns like this because I like crochet, but I don't like enough to do garments.
This is really fun because it's not. You don't do a cable. You do a front and back post crochet. I have fun with that. I like that stitch, and I like the fabric it makes. So.
And I've looked for knitted patterns like this. I found one that's close, but it's not the same. And I haven't been able to find a knitted pattern exactly like this. I love this thing. Speaking of, this leads on to, for me at least,
rough draft?
No, I don't have any rough draft.
Okay.
Leads on to for me to kind of what we used to call, not enabling, it's like what would be next on the needles. I forget what our
Right, prompts.
Prompts, thank you. I want to start the cowboy pattern, which basically it's similar to Zeus's petals, but it has a little bit more of a neck in the back, so it covers that cold area back here. And admittedly, I have been obsessed with westerns lately and cowboys.
And Clint Eastwood.
Hasn't been just
and Gil Favor.
Yeah. And also
and Pete.
Pete. They're cool characters. But yes, I've been watching a lot of The Rifleman. I've been watching a lot of.
For those of you who are not in my age bracket or older, because that's actually out of my age bracket too. It stars, I believe, Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors, yeah.
Yeah.
I have on my Amazon wishlist because you can't find it online. The other Western he did, Western series, where he was actually. Is he a declared deserter or?
I haven't seen that one.
It sounds good.
I think The Rifleman is the more well known.
But you can't get you only get like 2 or 3 of the not as good episodes on DVD, and
we're probably holding on to the rights.
Hulu carries some, so maybe they just share the rights with Hulu. You have certain episodes from season 1 to like season 5 or 6 or something. I'm not all the way through yet. I'm on season 2. But I do like The Rifleman. Been watching Rifleman, been watching a lot of Rawhide, a little bit of the Big Valley. I'm not a big fan of Big Valley.
Big Valley can be a little spotty
in
its storyline. Sometimes it's very, very good, and sometimes it's not so good. I like Lee Majors. Davina loves Linda Evans.
Yes, she does.
I don't know what she sees exactly in Linda Evans, but she likes her.
I think she kind of wants to be like Linda Evans.
Yeah, Linda Evans has a very strong character in Audra. So,
because I was joking, some of her favorite guy actors, I was like, oh, they're Audra's understudy. And Davina's like, no, I'm Audra's understudy.
Yeah, she likes Audra a lot.
She really likes that particular character.
Yeah. My own, next on the hooks and needles, my own hooks, I am actually debating taking some things off the hooks that I've had, off the hooks and needles that I don't think I'm going to finish. I will frog things that are more than a few rows, but I have some that aren't even a row, and I'm just going to get rid of those and not even call them frogged. They're just going to disappear from my project page because I really didn't start them. I'm just going to reclaim the yarn because I need to make a clean slate of it. I don't know if I'm going to go back to those projects, so I am going to get rid of them. And I'm going to keep the pattern and the yarn. I may restart them.
It might not be with that yarn, though. Maybe
it may not be with that yarn, or maybe the yarn with a different pattern. I don't know. But at the moment, I want to do different things, and I don't really want to do those. I do want to finish my Elafoof, and I want to finish my Chihuahua and my gumball dragon. I'd like to finish the Setna, but I really want to cast on or chain up something new. Just something fun and there's no obligation behind it, and just do it for fun. I don't know what it'll be, but I mean, it seems like it's kind of sweeping through the podcast community that everybody is taking stock and starting to kind of clean out their.
It always does once we start getting a little more into fall.
Yeah, I think because we want to put on so much more, and so if we haven't done it in a year or whatever, it's just like out it goes. So I feel like I'm in kind of good company for that.
I'll tell you what, when I finished the Vivian, that felt like a huge, like, okay, that's done.
Right, right.
Because a year and a half in the making, it's like, okay, that's done.
Right,
I
right.
might have to think about, I might pull back the C of poncho. Because I'm not enjoying the garter stitch.
Okay.
I don't like garter stitch.
What will you make out of it?
I don't know, I'll figure out something. I don't think I like the garter stitch for that poncho. And I don't enjoy the color changes every couple of rows.
Right. Well, you should do what I did. You like that pattern.
Which one did you do?
The shawl that I did.
That is pretty.
And I see if it's Serena can have their
Matching shawls.
Matching shawls.
I find that I wear shawls more than I realized I would because this is going to be a little bit cooler, and when I get up, I don't necessarily want to grab a robe, so I'll grab my green shawl that's my Sherwood shawl that Michelle gave me the pattern for. I'll just throw it over my shoulders and walk around with that sort of whole granny style.
Michelle is one of our biggest enablers.
Yes.
We love the Three Stitches ladies. They're very sweet and very generous. So yeah, I'd like to get something new.
Yeah, I think I have a few things I want to pull off. I know there's some things are in deep hibernation that'll probably never come out. I don't enjoy knitting socks. I've tried to enjoy knitting socks.
And I have not started any socks. I did find that I like hats, at least for now. So that
I've gotten a couple comments from people at work about the hat that I crocheted? No, it was knitted.
I like the hat I'm working on now. I enjoyed working the beanie hats.
Hats are fun because, again, once you get to a certain point, depending on what the pattern is, it's just a boring knit.
Well, and there's small patterns, like the hats, the scarves, some of the shawlettes. I like to have those as something I can go to if I'm on the move. And, like a blanket's kind of hard to carry with me once it gets past a certain size. And if I have to, and a sweater or whatever, and if I have to put things together like a toy, it's too many pieces. So I'd like to try.
I'm not too many pieces. There's no pieces to this. This is too big.
Yeah, I need to just figure out. So if you have any ideas of one skein projects, I like cowls, but I don't like them up like this. I don't, I like a little bit.
Something more like Zuzu's.
Yeah, like Zuzu's.
I wear Zuzu's all the time.
I would, I am willing to start looking into things now, branching out a little bit. So I'm willing to try something that is maybe in the round on knitting needles. I'm willing to look into something like that that's knitted, like the Zuzu's. But if you have ideas, free patterns are good. If you can tell me free patterns that you like that are maybe one skein, because I have a lot of pretty sock yarn that's one skein, either knitted or crocheted. And if it has a little more than one skein for the crochet pattern, that's fine too, because I have some things that I'm pulling out that are sock weight that are more than one skein. So, yeah, if you don't mind, we can share patterns if you.
Not share as in like you send it to her, but as in
No.
no.
I said.
Well, I was thinking of like if you and I, when you and I are in the same house, we don't even flip patterns at each other. We are just like, okay, if we want a pattern, we buy it because the designers owed that much.
Right.
That's what I meant.
And we have had at least one designer tell us, you don't have to buy both of them. We're like, yeah, we really do because you put the
effort.
And we appreciated it immensely, but she put the work in.
Yeah, she needs to be paid for her effort.
She needs to be paid for it. And we love her patterns, but anyway.
But yes. That's what I meant.
It's not what it sounded like.
Well, I can't help what it sounded like.
You can't?
No.
Really?
Not at all.
She has no control of her speech.
I can't help what anyone else might think it sounds like. That's their perception. I can't control their perception.
That sounds like a, Yes, anyway, we won't go there because...
Oops, I'm not supposed to purl there.
You were chastised.
Not really.
Oh, that makes a pretty little bump in the middle there. I mean, not a big one, not enough to cause problems, but kind of a little bump. I like that.
But if you don't.
Yeah, all right, moving on.
Okay, so...
No royalties, no stash enhancements.
Yeah, I think the only thing I bought once I came home after, all the stash enhancement was said and done for the Fiber Festival is comic books.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything. My husband's on enforced vacation due to the government furlough, so I'm not going to be buying things for a while. That's why I said, free patterns. If you can show me what they are, I'll go looking them up, and I have yarn, I just want to look for the patterns. So,
whereas I'm like, I'm not on furlough. And I'm like, ooh, crafty class. I picked up the blocking crafty class.
Yeah, I have that on my wish list.
I got it for the $29.99 price, which is awesome.
Right. And well, there was a class I wanted for $19.99. Actually, what I want to do is, and I have to wait for my husband to go back to work.
Oh, I want to do this.
I want to go. Dragonfly Fibers has a yarn.
Should we tell them people about this? I guess we should.
Yeah, we owe it to Dragonfly Fibers.
I guess she doesn't have limited membership, does she?
I don't know.
We should still tell, I guess.
Yeah, we have to tell you. Dragonfly Fibers has a Yarn of the Month Club, I think it is.
Something like that.
Some
It's
kind of
some
yarn
sort
club.
of Dragonfly Fibers club. I don't care what it is. It's Dragonfly Fibers.
Dragonfly Fibers, I want it. Anyway, there's a pay as you go option and there's a pay up front. And I'm just waiting to talk to my husband to see what the status is, if maybe that can be part of my Christmas gift or something like that, or be my Christmas gift. And he's going to probably say to me, what do you need more yarn for, woman? It's Dragonfly Fibers.
You see, I open my wallet, no one questions. Or they can question, but it's none of their darn business.
Until she goes broke and can't pay off her college loans. But anyway, so I don't know. I think they're still at the end of last year's. I have left a message with Dragonfly Fiber to see what's going on, and I'm waiting for a response from her. But there is information in the Dragonfly Fiber rivalry group. Because we love her so much, we are telling you about it. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's really about it.
Yeah, except for autobiography, I did write about 900 words. I am doing prompt mistress duty for the CH Percolator, which is different from the writer's voice. It's an email-based
I think I did Perk a couple times, but then their emails started flooding my box, and for the little bit of writing I was writing,
well,
I was doing,
it goes through phases. It's a little slow right now, but anyway, one of the person who was prompting before me posted something that was it sparked my interest, and I was able to get a 900-word free write out, so I was happy about that. The voice is up. The writer's voice is up for repairs or down for repairs. I can't get in, haven't been able to get in for the last 2 or 3 days. So Emily, if you're trying to get into that, don't give up on us. Emily, who is holding the sticks.
Well, Holding the Sticks is her podcast. Her name
Shanty
is
Dragon.
Shanty Dragon.
Yeah, Shanty Dragon.
I think it's Shanty, Mom.
Yeah, T-H-I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shanty Dragon. NaNoWriMo is starting up next month, so I'm hoping that I can get back into gear for that.
It's hard to get NaNoWriMo done.
I love NaNoWriMo. I've done it twice. I've done it 3 times, finished twice.
Mm-hmm.
And
you really have to make writing your focus.
You do, because you have to do you have to do at least 1,700 words, I think it is, a day. And if you don't have the time to do that, to set aside for that, you're not going to make it.
Well, I remember the one year I did it. Anytime I had a break at work, I would be jotting down words.
Yeah. I started late, and I actually finished it that time.
No, I do remember. Because when you sat down, you didn't just get the 1,700 words. You got a huge section every time you sat down.
Well, I made it quite clear that I wanted to write, and I don't have that option anymore. It's very hard to do that when you have a lot of hobbies and you don't want to neglect your family. So I don't know if I will do that seriously this year or just use it as a springboard.
You're not able to do it non-seriously. You tried to do it non-seriously the one year I did it, and I think she started getting a bit competitive.
Who, me? I don't know what she's talking about.
So she's not able to just
I don't know what
sign up.
she's talking about.
And for that we have matching NaNoWriMo shirts.
Yeah, I got tomato on.
Well, Mom, we can still pick up another one of the same year
Yeah,
because they had a bunch of different years available.
I need to get.
It wasn't my favorite color.
I like blue, but it was very light.
It wasn't my favorite of the shirts that they had.
Yeah, but I want my.
But that was the year that I finished.
I want my clean one. I should get the other one that I finished too. I had 2005, I think it was, that I finished.
The NaNoWriMo site will tell you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's digressing. Didactic or thank yous.
I can't remember. I don't think we have any.
Well, thank you for viewing.
Yes.
We thank you for viewing, and if we forgot to thank you for something that we should have,
I'm sorry.
Poke us hard and loudly, and we will thank you next podcast.
So how do you poke loudly? Do you just say poke at the top of your lungs?
Yes, you put big capitals and bold. Poke.
Poke!
Poke! Anyway, happy knitting and crocheting. God bless. Have a wonderful day. This is Pen, Hook, and Needles, episode 71, and that's a wrap.